one thing the Mets have to make a complete turn with, and you would think, and I'm hoping that and I figure they got to be smart enough to realize this. The Ohtani thing, if you've seen today, very good chance he could be out till 2020. You cannot build your team around young power pitching. You have to build it around young, everyday talent and then supplement your pitching. Yes, you need really good starters. You need a horse. You need a Verlander. You need a Sale. You need a really top pitcher. Absolutely. But you cannot have a whole bunch of those guys and think they're going to remain healthy. They will not. Their performance has been diminished by how much they pitch now or how little they pitch now. And they get hurt way too much. They are so totally unpredictable. So that's why you build it around good, young talent and then supplement your pitching. And that's the message. It's about younger players. It's about youth. The Yankees are the perfect example of this. A couple of years ago, they knew it. They said, we're old, and we have to replenish our... And listen, they did it without going below, they without going below 500. They were able to, and they had a couple of years that weren't great. Well, let's be honest. They were, weren't an exciting team. They were an old, dull team, and they'd win in the mid-'80s. But the point was they were rebuilding. And yes, they were able to use those relievers to go out and get some good young talent. And they did it about as well as you could do it. Throw in a couple of good trades, and voila. There you go. It's the same thing the Mets have to do. Andy starts us off. What's up, Andy?
Hey, Mike. Hey, you're kind of just pointing on what I was going to talk about. Back in 2015, when the Mets and the Cubs were, the two top teams in the NL, a lot of people were talking, would you rather have the Cubs hitting or rather have the Mets pitching? And I was always, a believer of, the pitching. But now it makes sense that, you have to have the young hitters, and you could always go out and sign.
Listen, pitching, good pitching, dominant pitching beats good hitting. We understand that. The difference last year was the way the Astros pitched. Absolutely true. But you're not going to get there without building a good young core of everyday players and then supplement the pitching. Rather than have a whole bunch of arms where they're all going to get hurt, or at least a lot of them are going to get hurt. And plus, your starting pitcher now goes 6 innings a lot of the time, and you hand it off to the bullpen anyway. Alex in Queens, what's up, Alex?
Hey, Mike, speaking of Omar, Willie Randolph has never gotten another opportunity to manage because in 2007, Jose Reyes led the Mets to the biggest collapse in baseball history. Since he's returned, the Mets are 30 games under 500. He's always laughing. He messes up other guys' timing.
He's a utility man. Come on. You cannot blame Jose Reyes for this team. He doesn't even play. That's someone who's just got a thing for Reyes. He's not a major player anymore. And listen, I sat on this radio long before any of these guys I'm looking at were even here. And I said, after the collapse, break up Reyes and Wright, and I got killed. I mean, I fought every fan, media, everyone. I said, break them up. Right now, break them up. They're never going to win together. That was a long time ago. But you can't blame Reyes for this. Come on, he's a utility man at best. Before the season, I remember saying that Cespedes was as important to his team as anybody was to their team in baseball. Look at the record when he plays, when he doesn't play. The Mets, when they've had him healthy, have been a winning team. When they don't, they do nothing. He can carry a team. Now, he's a pain in the neck. We all know that, but he can carry a team. But when is he going to be healthy? Bill in Morristown. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
2 quick things. One, I agree with you. This team is not about Reyes.
Oh, I can't see. Come on. He's a utility man.
I agree, Mike, I agree with you. But all I'm asking is you have to admit if last night's 8th inning went differently with him giving up 2 outs in one play, that it would have been
he screwed
hell
up
on earth today.
He absolutely screwed up. He also got the hit in front of the home run.
Well, he did. And,
Just to be,
the other thing,
I'm just trying to be fair. Last night he did get the hit in front of the home, and for the Mets, that's a big deal getting a hit these days.
Sure, because now it's not a solo home run. You actually get 2 runs out of the home run.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, but yes,
quick,
he screwed up absolutely.
The other thing, I didn't get in. I know we've had a million trade talks with DeGrom. I'm a Mets fan. I was at the game Friday night talking to some Yankee fans. I know they don't want to deal Torres. I just want to know. I know it won't happen, but what I want to know from you is whether you think this one is actually fair. If you don't want to deal Torres, Andahar, Frazier, and Sheffield, would that be fair for DeGrom? Andahar, Frazier, and then to replace the pitcher
I don't want
with Sheffield. Is that fair?
I think Andahar and Frazier 80% there. I want a third player. I'm not sure I want Sheffield, but I want a third player. But if I can get Frazier and Andahar, I'm very close to making the deal. Yes, if in terms of fairness, I don't think there's going to be a deal. But what I think it would be on the way to fairness, yes, I think the Mets would be getting 2 good players. So I think the third guy, I would want another everyday player from the Yankees. I don't want a pitcher from them, to be honest with you. Joe in Massapequa Park, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Mike. Good afternoon.
What's happening?
I remember you saying break Reyes and right up. That's like 100 years ago. On Lugo, Mike, I agree with him putting him in the rotation. But what's stopping the Mets from calling like a White Sox team and asking for Soria to put in the back end of the bullpen? They're going nowhere this year. I mean, probably the Mets aren't going anywhere either. But
the Mets are not going to. But the Mets right now, a team like the White Sox wants.
I have no question, Mike.
Right, they want prospects. The Mets don't have the ability to give somebody prospects right now, and the Mets are not going to trade like they are a contending team. There are teams that are going to trade for the pitchers that are the guys. They're the ones. So the Mets are not in that position right now. They're not a have or a have not. Right now they're trying to figure out what they are. They're soon going to realize they're, an extra this year. They're not going anywhere. And they will continue to get rid of some of the older players. The Mets are the 3rd oldest team in baseball. They will continue to get rid of some of these guys. I doubt Reyes will finish this season, but he's not the story here. He's had 70 at-bats this year. Before you talk about him, all right, before you ever talk about him, talk about Bruce. Talk about Conforto. What about Conforto's year? He's hitting .215 with 15 RBIs. Bruce is hitting, Bruce has got 15 RBIs also. I mean, these guys, you got to be kidding me. Bruce is on a pace this year. Bruce is hitting .219 with 15 RBIs. He's got 3 home runs. He's got 3 RBIs in his last 110 at-bats. That's a pace to get 15 RBIs for the season. 3 home runs, 3 RBIs, and 115 at-bats. In the middle of your order, you got a guy who's got 3 RBIs and 115 at-bats? Bill in North Jersey. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's happening?
You watch the Mets, and I'll give you an example. Rosario. Are they developing these players from developmental to single, double A? He doesn't know what a strike is. And then if you watch him, he swings at a pitch over his head, and then when he tries to get a pitch on the outside corner, he's lunging. Conforto, always 0-2. You're not going to have a successful batting average if you're always fighting from 0-2. They just seem like these position players aren't developed.
Well, listen, Rosario is a guy who's, like many young players, is a free swinger. We know that. He's not the guy I'm worried about. I mean, he shows me some things that he's got some speed, he's got some power. He can play the position. I think he's all right. I'm not worried about him right now. If he hit 260 right now and plays every day, I can live with that if I had what I need around him and bat him down the bottom of the order and let him grow up. That's fine. Conforto is a major problem. I mean, listen, there were people telling you Conforto was going to win a batting crown. Many people, you got guys like Keith Hernandez was saying Conforto was going to be that kind of hitter. You've had many people. You have Bobby Valentine raving about Conforto as a hitter. Conforto, though, has had these times in his career where he has just gone into these enormous deserts. I mean, you can't, if you're the Mets right now and you have Cespedes in Florida, you can't have Bruce and Conforto doing 0. Those are your three middle hitters in your lineup. Pete in Babylon, what's up, Pete?
What's going on, Mike? How you
What's
doing?
happening?
Listen, I'm glad you brought this Conforto thing. I told you last year about it. I'm so tired of Conforto about we got to send him down. If the guy can't stay in the major leagues at this point of his career, it sounds to me like it's Ike Davis all over again. How many times do we say Ike Davis is going to be great? Ike Davis is awesome. He had little glimpses of this greatness, and then he was nothing. Ike Davis, where is he now? He's out of baseball, Mike. Enough with Michael Conforto. If the guy can't stay in the major leagues at this point in his career, he's probably not a major leaguer. Enough already. I can't take it anymore.
Well, this guy in 2017 hits 27 homers in 20 doubles and 27 homers and 350 at-bats. I mean, he has a big year. A big year. He has a 940 OPS. He has a big season. You know, first year good, second year bad. Third year good, fourth year bad. Well, I don't get it. And the bad is really bad. First year, he showed you really good glimpses, very high slugging, showed you really impressive stuff. Second year, major trouble. Third year, comes back, big year. This year, nothing. So I don't know if he's not healthy. I don't know if the shoulder's a problem. I don't know what the deal is. But the bottom line is you're not getting any productivity out of Conforto, who is 25 years old. You're getting nothing out of Bruce. Last year, Bruce hit 36 home runs and knocked in over 100 runs. Right now, he's got 3 homers and 15 RBIs in what is probably 40%, almost 40% of a season. That's scary. Pat in Rockville Center. What's up, Pat?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good. What's happening?
So, one of the problems with baseball is that there's less team players, more individuals, Last night, you got Stanton comes up. He's down 2 runs. First 3 pitches are balls, right? You're down 2 runs. You got to take a ball. And what's he doing with that 3-0 count? He's swinging for the fences like he's going to get a 4-run homer or something, And these third base coaches and managers are useless because they're not telling him what to do. It's all these individual players that just want to do what they want to do there. It's ridiculous.
Listen, the art of getting on base anymore has changed dramatically. Now, you cannot be swinging at a 3-0 pitch when you're down 2 runs late in the game. You cannot. I'm sorry. You need to get on first base. So a home run there, as you said, doesn't win the game for you, doesn't get you tied. So you need to get on base. I agree with that. But other than that, you see guys now when they're behind swinging 2-0 pitches, swinging 3-1 pitches. In the old days, you didn't do that. When you were 2-0 and you were down a run, 2 runs last inning, and you're 2-0, you made the pitcher come and throw you a strike. 3-1, you made sure it was a pitch you could rip. Otherwise, you didn't touch it. I mean, you made the pitcher come to you. You don't see that a lot anymore. I mean, that's changed. And I'm not even talking about just sluggers. I'm talking about guys who aren't sluggers. You see that. Vin in Babylon. What's up, Vin?
Hey, Mike, for all the reasons that you're saying about young hitters, I don't trade Torres, but I'll tell you, I also don't trade Andujar. He could end up being as good a hitter as Torres. What I'm really thrilled about is how those 2 young players, and by the way, they may be our best 2 hitters right now, adjust on the game and get good rips all the time. Instead of these useless, worthless strikeout at bats, they get rips at it. So please, I don't trade Andujar for the Mets DeGrom, 31-year-old DeGrom, and I know he's great, but I think these 2 guys are unusual talents. I really do.
Well, DeGrom is 29, to be fair, but I think Torres is going to be a star. I think Andujar is a very solid player. I don't think he's as good a hitter as now. He's a good hitter, and he's getting a lot better. I mean, he's been on a tear. I think he's good. I don't think he's as good as Torres. But he is definitely impressive, and he's shown a lot of extra base power, and he seems to be getting better. So both of them have performed very, very well. You're absolutely right. Now, as far as the guys who are going to strike out, listen, Judge is going to strike out. He's going to strike out. Stanton's going to strike out. You knew that. That's why I didn't think you needed Stanton in the middle of this lineup, because you had enough sluggers in the lineup. That was my point. I want to have balance on my team. That's how I look at teams. And this team, to me, you didn't have a place. It was going to clog up the DH spot. You were going to have some days where you were going to have a flood of outfielders, and you didn't need another big righty guy to strike out. So that's why I know what happened and why you had to take him and how you had to take him. But the point is, you didn't really need him. It was a little bit overkill. Now, a lot of people getting on Sanchez all of a sudden. Sanchez has gotten very, very jumpy this year at the plate. I mean, you've seen him do some really tremendous things in his career. Now, lately, he really is almost befuddling for a guy who really is a wonderful, wonderful hitter. The guy is 2 for his last 29. He is 4 for his last 53 with 18 strikeouts. He is way too good to be hitting like that. Way too good. But he's getting himself out. He's gotten way too jumpy. He has really started to just, go after pitches in the dirt. He has really gotten himself off balance. He does not, and this is a guy who, if you saw him, he took care of breaking balls along the line of, Ramirez and Cabrera when he came up. He killed the breaking balls. Now he's swinging at all kinds of garbage in the dirt. He's gotten himself out like crazy. He's lunging. He's off balance. That's what happens when you get yourself in a bad slump, and he's gotten himself in a really bad slump now. And he's too good a hitter, way too good a hitter, to ever look like he looks at the plate right now. So he is completely fouled up. I mean, he's not even a little fouled up. He's completely fouled up right now. Back after this.